Hi everyone, Brandon here with SumoQuote, and just wanted to show some great new features that our product team just released with regards to signing, initialing, and being able to really customize some of your signatures and initials on custom pages. So this has been a big request from a lot of you, and so we're thrilled to announce it and add it on here. And this is an example of what it is that has been requested. So a lot of people are wanting to be able to add initials, signatures to custom documents, and be able to have documents that'll actually shapeshift towards customers so they can create unique contracts. So with that, the way that the product team decided to implement this was brilliant, is they began adding signature and initial tokens into our existing custom pages. So this will work for your terms and conditions page if you're wanting additional initials or signatures on there, and then also for any custom text page. Now, this is in addition to the existing initial spot that you can turn on at the bottom of the pages, but you'll see here that this actually allows you to have multiple signatories that can sign on to certain conditions and initial spots that will show up if you print it, but also if you actually are signing and initialing a contract through our e-sign, it'll allow you to be able to take advantage of that. Let me show you how it works. So if I jump out of here, you'll see that I'm currently in a custom page. If I scroll down to the bottom here and click Add Custom Page, this is where this is going to show up. So you'll see, of course, we've got our PDFs, but if I click Text Page, now you'll see in here that we have abilities to not only, of course, pull in templates, this is nothing new, but I can actually have templates that now you'll notice in your tokens, in addition to being able to pull in your account name, company name, salesperson name, at the very bottom here, we've added two more. One is for the customer signature. The other is for the customer initials. Here's how you can use it. So you'll see here that I've put in this initial spot here, and it's just a token saying this is the place where we want initials to appear. And down here, we've put in a slot for customer signature. Okay. So if I click View Page on this, you'll see that I've just pulled in this template, and now we have an initial spot and a signature block. Now, one of the really slick things that we can do with these is I can do things like customer initials, customer name, so that it actually shifts for whichever customer it is that we're doing this, acknowledge that I've received a copy of this document, address for notice. So I can put in things like customer is the customer name, in this case, Jim Gaffigan of 123 Avenue North in New York, whatever it is. I sign to acknowledge these conditions. So you can use these tokens layered on top of each other to be able to create very, very dynamic contracts. Let me show you a few examples of what you can build with these. So this first one that I showed you is a buyer's right to cancel. So we have certain states that they actually do require including a buyer's right to cancel with additional acknowledgements. So here's an example of what you can build with that. You'll see if I jump down here into terms and conditions, we have some companies that have very complex terms and conditions pages, and they want to be able to add initials and acknowledgements at every step of the contract. So this is a brilliant way that you can do this, is being able to actually take and start having some good acknowledgements that, hey, I understand that I must remove personal items from this area. I understand the hard edges of all these things. This is an example for a more complex terms and condition for a painting company. And then down here, we've got one which is what we call a good faith estimate. And this is an acknowledgement and a bit of a contract that we're starting seeing showing up in California and Florida with some of these state changes. And part of that is saying, hey, instead of a contingency contract, we actually want to be able to provide people with an alternative. So with that, you get the customers to sign and acknowledge that this is just a good faith estimate. They can sign here. You can have up to 4 signatories. As per usual, you'll see that our signature blocks actually go edge to edge. So just a heads up, you got to leave a little bit of space for that. And you can use multiple of them. So then here, if it's the case that we're trying to be able to adapt to some of our more dynamic changes that are happening legally across the states, you can create a whole multitude of different contracts to be able to make that work. So if I bail out of here, you'll see that here, this quote, this is what it looks like. I've just inserted the token for customer signature. It's just at the bottom of the list here. I've put in customer initials, I, customer name, acknowledge I've received a copy of this document. You can put in name, address, things like that. And one slick thing that I don't think that I mentioned just yet is that when they sign it, if they're digitally signing it through our e-signing, it will not only date it, but if they use, say they use like their iPad or their finger to actually do a physical signature, it'll apply that image right in there. So it's going to look very, very slick. And for those of you who are really hardcore and want to be able to add an acknowledgements per page as well, you can do that too. So you can add your initials on the page, and then you can also say, hey, I acknowledge I've read and understand this whole page, and you can use our standard acknowledgement in addition. So anyhow, really thrilled about how this works. Again, you'll find it down in our custom page section here. If you go into your layouts and you're adjusting your actual terms and conditions, it's available there too. We do have some customers that are requesting that. But the big thing that we're trying to do with this is broaden your ability to create very clever contracts and be able to really keep closing jobs, e-signing in a very unified way on SumoQuote. So hopefully this is helpful. Let us know if there's any way that we can help. As always, you can reach us at support@sumoquote.com if you have any questions or requests. And you can reach us if you have any questions as well by phone at 509-213-0118. So thanks so much. And yeah, keep closing work.